If I could just have a moment of your time.
Certainly, Mr. Douglas.
Mrs. Powell, I tried to contact you last night, but your husband said that you were out for the evening.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get any message.
Oh, not to worry. We're all here now.
Yes, would you like to come through the office?
Well, I'm sure Mrs. Reynolds would love to see it, but all in good time. Well, ladies, may I introduce Mrs. Anne Reynolds, the new governor of Wentworth.
Oh, dear. This really has been a surprise for you, hasn't it? I'm sorry.
Oh, no need to apologize, Mrs. Reynolds. Breakdown in communications, that's all.
Yes. It is a pity, though. We could have welcomed you a little better than this.
Well, thank you for the thought, but I'd really like to get started. Perhaps you could show me to my office, Mrs. Powell.
Of course. Will there be anything else, Mr. Douglas?
Oh, no, not at the moment. I'll speak to Mrs. Reynolds if anything crops up.
Right. This way, Mrs. Reynolds.
Will I see you before you go, Mr. Douglas?
Oh, good Lord, yes. I wouldn't throw you in the deep end like that. I'll see you in the office.
Oh, and I'd like to contact the Prisoners' Reform Group as well. Mrs. Davidson belonged to that too, I believe.
No, don't take on too much to start with. Oh, the PRG's all right, I suppose. I think you do better to get this place in order first, don't you?
You're right, of course. I must admit there's quite a bit to be done.
No, you can do it. Just remember what I said. Put the department first, and everything else
will fall into place.
Yes, that's right.
Well, to cut a short story even shorter, your new boss is now sitting in the governor's office and you've just placed her first call through to her.
You mean Reynolds?
Mrs. Anne Reynolds. And if we're to believe our pompous leader, she's true blue department through and bloody through.
What's all this?
Lunch, Mrs. Reynolds. We missed out yesterday, but things are back to normal now.
Well, thank you, but I'm afraid I won't have time to eat. I have to go out. Don't bother putting it down. Perhaps someone else would like it.
But what about your lunch? Mrs. Davidson always had it about this time.
Mrs. Davidson. Now, please take it out. Damn. My first disagreement with the department, and I take it out on a prisoner.
Oh, well, I wouldn't worry about Lizzie if I were you. She was giving Mrs. Davidson advice all the time.
Once again, Mrs. Powell, and I think I'll have to put a memo out to this effect. I am not Mrs. Davidson. Now, I'll be at Driscoll House if anyone wants me.
Last time I shot you lunch, lady.
Meg Morris does tend to get a little too involved, personally. But that's no secret, and I'm sure she means no harm by it, but, I think it does affect her judgment from time to time. Did you know that she spent 48 hours inside for contempt of court?
Yes, I read that on her report. What about Mrs. Powell?
Yes, well, she has been an efficient deputy governor. But then she, too, has had her share of problems in getting involved with prisoners.
Such as?
Well, there was a sticky situation some time back concerning the husband of one of the prisoners.
Really?
Oh, it didn't last for too long, and it certainly isn't indicative of the way she usually conducts herself. But as I said, getting too close can be dangerous.
Yes. And it's no wonder I don't trust written reports. This is all new to me.
Anyway, here we are talking about everyone else. What about you? Now, if you don't mind my asking, there are some of us who would like to know a little more about our new governor.
Well, there's not much to tell, really. No dark secrets, anything like that. My husband died 6 years ago. My 2 children helped me through that time. There's Paul. He's 18, working as a trainee manager for a supermarket. And Julie, she's 21. 22, rather. Doing 4th year university. Both good kids. And apart from 15 or so years in the public service, that's about it, really. Nothing terribly exciting.
Well, I think you'll have your share of excitement from now on. Would you like some more port?
Thank you. And thanks again for tonight. It's been really worthwhile.
Say is, I've got a photo of Lionel Fellows. Here, look at it and tell me if I'm right. Yeah, the 2 guys on the left. The other guy's handing him the envelope. That's Fellows, isn't it? God, if it is, I'm made.
Can't be.
What, you don't think it's Fellows?
Oh, yes, it's Fellows, all right. But that one on the left, that's Ted Douglas. What's he doing with a man like Fellows?
Yes, Mrs. Reynolds.
I wonder if I could see you rather urgently, Mr. Douglas.
Yes, concerning?
I've got a problem I'd like to talk to you about.
Mrs. Reynolds, I'm very busy at the moment. I can't just drop everything and rush down to the prison without a very good reason. Now, what's wrong this time? Fire or riot?
Well, I'd rather not discuss it over the phone, not with two switchboards between us.
Well, I'm sure it all sounds rather intriguing, but I can't get there till tomorrow morning.
All right. Could you make it as early as possible? You will realize how important it is.
Yes, well, he can think himself lucky all the negatives were destroyed. Trying to expose a man like Fellows could place you and your family in a very dangerous situation.
But they didn't take all the negatives, Mr. Douglas. Paul didn't want to take a chance with it, so he put it somewhere else.
He didn't want to take a chance with it? You said your flat was broken into. What if you'd been there? For God's sake, woman! Give me the negatives and let the department get on with its business.
And what about the photo the women have?
Yes.
All right, lady, now you've got the negatives and we want them. So hand them over and we'll leave.
Anne, God, are you all right?
I don't know. It hurts all round the ribs.
I'm afraid Mrs. Reynolds has been badly beaten, Mr. Wallace. Oh, I'd be surprised if there's any bruising. Sounds like they were professionals.
Has anybody called a doctor?
Yeah, I'm going to take her up to the hospital and get her properly checked over.
Wouldn't like to sit in the governor's office for a while, would you?
No, thank you. I'm having enough trouble in the kitchen. Oh, which reminds me. Oregano and thyme, where is it?
Right-hand cupboard above the stove.
No, oregano, but no thyme. Where else would it be? Anne? Hey, Dreamer, where else would... Oh, no, it's okay. It was hiding behind the papadums. Dinner won't take long.
Don't, Wally, please.
What the blazes is going on with you? 20 minutes ago, we were in there making...
I know.
Then why the change?
I just want some time alone.
Well, Anne, something's going on that you're not telling me about. There's been far too much of this sort of thing between us lately.
Please, Wally, it's got nothing to do with you.
How do you expect me to believe that? One moment you're loving me, next thing you're treating me like a stud bull.
I'm going to bed. I'm sorry. I just...
Anne, I want to sleep with you tonight.
No, not tonight. Please go, Wally.
Go. For how long? An hour? A week? 2 weeks? 2 years? Until you make up your mind?
Just for a while. Good morning.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Reynolds. Not a professional visit, I hope.
In a way. Do you have a moment?
Sure.
It occurred to me last night that the majority of women in here have probably never been examined for breast cancer.
I'd say you're right.
And I doubt whether they'd examine themselves.
Probably not. Do you want me to remedy that?
Well, I thought it might be a good idea if you did a routine examination during the next couple of weeks. What do you think?
Sounds like a good idea.
I suppose some of them have never given a second thought to the possibility of getting anything like that. There might be quite a lot of ignorance about it.
I'd say you're right. I'll try and remedy that during the test.
I'm not very well informed myself. I have regular checks, of course, but what are these statistics?
Statistics?
Well, I mean, how many lumps in the breast would prove to be malignant, that sort of thing?
Well, 1 in, or say between 15 and 20 women detect a lump at some stage or another, and of those, 1 in 10 would be cancerous. That's the non-malignant lumps.
That seems quite high.
It is, and it gets higher.
What do you mean?
Well, as the woman's age increases, so does the likelihood that any lump will be malignant.
I see.
Hey, Doc, I'm Baston.
Well, excuse me for a moment. Duty calls.
Of course.
Dr. Boscombe's surgery.
Hello. I was wondering if I could make an appointment with the doctor.
Yes, when would suit you?
Tonight, if possible.
I'll just check the doctor's appointments. I'm sorry, but there are no appointments available tonight, except for emergencies.
Oh, all right, thank you.
What about tomorrow?
Tomorrow? Yes, all right.
At 9 a.m.?
That's fine.
And your name is?
Reynolds, Anne Reynolds.
All right, we'll see you at 9 tomorrow.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
How are you getting on with the breast examinations?
Slowly. I've examined 6 of the women so far.
Any problems?
Well, Fisher has a small lump. I'd like her to go into hospital for a mammogram.
Well, give me the details and I'll arrange it. What exactly is a mammogram? Sounds like one of those crazy greetings telegrams.
Actually, it's an X-ray technique designed to expose any foreign masses in the breast.
Can it tell if they're malignant?
It's not that simple. It can't diagnose cancer.
See.
Now, don't tell me your interest in the subject is purely academic.
I have found a lump. Would you mind examining it for me?
Look, Anne, there's a very good possibility that it's no more than a fibroid cyst. Many women develop them, especially as they approach middle age.
But it could be the big one.
I can't lie to you. Yes, it could be. But I think you should wait and see before you let your imagination run riot.
It's a possibility that has to be faced.
Yes, I'm afraid so. Why didn't you see your own doctor about this?
I tried to, but he'd been called away. I know it was stupid, but I couldn't face talking about something so potentially serious with a total stranger fresh out of med school.
I felt really bad about it that day, and I thought you meant it. And that last night, I really laid one on myself. And I finished up in the cot with Sam.
Sam Russell. Well, thanks a lot, chum. I really needed you that night, but in typical male fashion, you dropped your dummy and ran off to the first easy lay you could find.
Oh, that's a bit rough.
I couldn't agree more. Is that why you're trying to crawl back in with me?
Hey?
You frightened you'll find someone younger, more her style.
Come on, I don't even care about it.
Well, that's a pity, because as far as I'm concerned, you can run up to her for sympathy any time you like.
Oh, Anne.
Go, just go.
Oh, morning, Mrs. Reynolds.
Morning.
Just checking to see if the arrangements have been made for Fisher's trip to the hospital for the mammogram.
Yes, Mrs. Powell booked it. She'll give you the details.
Right. And how about you? Have you seen Dr. Bascombe yet?
I caught him at surgery last night.
And?
He's checked me out thoroughly.
Is he planning any tests?
He thinks it may not be necessary. It's possibly just a swollen gland. Should be back to normal in a few days.
But there's only one question that really matters. Do you want to live?
Of course I do.
Well, then there isn't any choice. You must see the doctor.
Good afternoon, Anne Reynolds speaking. Oh, Dr. Bascombe, I wasn't expecting to hear from you so soon.
Anne, I've got the results here. I'm sorry, but you've got to go in for biopsy.
No.
Look, I don't want you to worry. I've called in Len Thomas. He's brilliant, and he really is. You couldn't be in better hands. Anne? You there, Anne?
Yes, I'm sorry. How soon do you want me?
Well, I've booked you into St. Matthew's day after tomorrow. Is that all right?
Why couldn't you trust me?
How did you find out?
Paul?
I made him promise not to tell you.
Yes, I know, but thank God he told me. Made me realize how much I love you. Oh, you can't go through this alone, Anne. However it turns out, we're together, we'll live together, we'll get married, whatever you say, but don't turn me away.
Even if it does come to that, you can have a full prosthesis once the scar tissue's healed. No one need ever know.
I'd know.
You're a very attractive woman, Mrs. Reynolds. Whatever the outcome of the operation, it won't change that.
Won't it?
You must have faith in yourself. That's essential.
We're back.
They didn't have your regular brand.
Doesn't matter.
I'll leave you to it. Bye, Paul.
Bye, Mr. Thomas.
Thanks, darling. Trust me to forget something.
The doctor's right, Mum.
About what?
Faith. You've got to have a bit of faith in yourself. You can't expect me to have it all.
Now, here's your buzzer. Just press it if you need anything. And you look after yourself.
Mrs. Reynolds, how are you feeling?
My right arm feels numb.
That's normal. Nothing to worry about.
But I can't feel my right side. What happened? What did you find?
Mrs. Reynolds, we've had to remove your right breast. I'm sorry, but it was necessary.
I'm just so glad you didn't shut me out.
I think I'm over the worst now. I hope so, anyway.
You know I'll do anything I can to help.
I have to make my own way, Wally. I just want to know we're still friends.
Always. But I don't have to go back to the hills.
No, I meant what I said. Come and see me now and again.
Oh, yes. The hills will be getting pretty again soon. You must come up there in the spring.
I'd love to.
I'll keep you up to that.
Oh, my God. It's all right. It was just a shock.
He may not recognize you, Mrs. Reynolds. He's been drifting in and out of consciousness.
Paul? Darling, it's me.
Huh?
It's me, darling. Don't try to talk.
Is he all right?
The doctor said Paul may never walk again.
Well, he's pulled through. You've got to hang on to that. Besides, it is early days. He could surprise everyone.
Either way, he's going to need special attention for quite some time.
Yes, of course he will.
That's why I've decided to resign as Governor of Wentworth.
Good morning.
Anne, hello. What brings you out here so early?
Same as you. Work. I tried to contact you last night to let you know I've decided not to resign, and as from now, I'm officially on duty.
Well, how does your doctor feel about that?
Oh, he approves 100%. Thinks it's a much better idea than sitting round at home worrying about Paul.
You'll still need treatment, though, won't you? Physio, that sort of thing.
Of course, but we can work that out. And quite frankly, as soon as I made the decision, I felt like a new person. Things have been pretty rough around here lately, haven't they?
We managed.
Remarkably well, too. Well, let's get started, shall we? I imagine you'll be quite happy to hand over the more pressing problems.
Well, you might like to start with these. The department will want to speak to the governor.
It really is a pleasure having you with us, Dr. Edmonds, and if there's anything you need, just ask Mrs. Powell or myself.
Thank you very much, Governor. Mrs. Powell has already made me feel quite at home.
My pleasure. I'll get back to reception.
Thanks, Colleen.
Well, Anne, it's been a long time.
Yes, it must be nearly 20 years.
Closer to 25.
Oh, it's not very gallant of you to remind me.
You don't need gallantry. You're as lovely as ever.
Thank you. Yes, those were 10 good years. After the Institute gained credibility in the profession, I became something of a celebrity. But somewhere along the way, I lost Laura.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, don't be. I probably shouldn't have married her in the first place. But she was pretty and she made no demands and, well, she let me put the work first. Perhaps that wasn't a good thing.
Strange to hear you say that now. I can remember a time when you thought I'd get in the way of the work.
I was an intense intellectual idiot in those days. You were my safety valve, Anne. I can see that now. Do you really think that after all this time, all the loneliness, do you really think that I give a damn about what you've just told me? You've had a breast removed, Anne. You haven't lost your laughter or your soul or any of the things that made me love you. And I love you now more than I ever thought possible. Don't send me away, Anne. I don't think I could take it a second time. This case is working better than expected. I must take all necessary steps to ensure I'm not held responsible for her dramatic personality reversal. Subject has no memory or knowledge of recent uncharacteristic behavior. End of case. I will now test the theory that after achieving desirable behavior through hypnosis, the reverse can be achieved. I see you found some of my boring tapes.
I've only heard one so far, and it was far from boring.
Don't you think you should hear what I have to say before you go?
I think I've heard enough.
With no background knowledge of psychology and without the benefit of my written notes, you could be way off the mark. Don't you realize
I
that?
don't need a psychology degree to hear you say you used hypnosis on Meg, obviously without her knowledge or anyone else's. What a self-important, callous bastard you are.
Well, there's no room for sentiment in scientific research. The results are all that matters.
What about people? What about Parker and Mitchell? Are they nothing to you?
If scientists allow themselves to be governed by emotions, we'd be back in the Stone Age.
Is that what you would have put on Mitchell's headstone if Parker had killed her?
Mitchell was expendable. The girl's a criminal, costing the community money every day she's here. Through my experiments, at least she fulfills some useful function.
I see. I hope you'll be able to explain your reasons as clearly as that to the police.
Why the police?
There is no way I'm going to stand by and see Parker blamed for what she tried to do to Mitchell.
Anne, you realize you'd be throwing away any chance we had of a future together.
I think you've already done that.
There's a letter here. I guess it's for Mrs. Reynolds.
Oh,
I'll put it on her desk. The person in charge. Where did this come from?
Oh, I'm not sure. I think someone left it at the gate.
Well, from the way it's addressed, it's hardly personal. Perhaps I'd better open it. Anything important?
No postmark.
Apparently it was hand-delivered.
To reception?
Well, we're not sure. No one can remember seeing anyone. Well, Greg was on the gate this afternoon, so he could have taken it, but I haven't been able to contact him.
Well, there's not much we can do until we check with him, is there?
Well, you are going to call the police.
No.
But, Anne, you have to.
Meg, how many threatening letters have there been in the last month?
What is it? An eye for an eye. You for a loved one.
At least this one has a postmark. Typewritten envelope addressed to me.
Mrs. Reynolds.
Yes. I'm sorry about all this. It must be dreadfully boring waiting outside the house all night.
Oh, well, it'd be worse if something happened to you. Anyway, I'll be relieved at 10 o'clock. I've checked back and front and everything seems okay. If you'd like to give me the key to the flat, I'll check inside before you go in.
No, thank you. I'm sure you would have noticed if anyone had gone in. Would you like a cup of coffee or something? Sorry, I don't know your name.
Oh, Cargill. Steve Cargill. No, thanks. I'll be right.
Well, I'll leave you to it then. Don't worry, I'll scream if there's anything wrong. Hello, this is Anne Reynolds speaking.
You've been lucky once, Governor. It won't happen again.
Who is this?
It's my God-given task to stop the degradation you've forced on your victims with this ridiculous marathon.
Can we meet? Immediately, any place you choose.
Too late, Governor. Your time has come. It's too late to stop it.
What?
Regrettably, the innocent must die with you. Everybody in Wentworth Prison.
How? When?
While the world watches, so the world will see.
Just what are you talking about?
An explosion, Governor. A very big explosion. An eye for an eye. You for a loved one.
The young constable's in hospital. The doctors don't think he'll make it through the night.
Oh, God, no.
I've been on the force a long time, Mrs. Reynolds, but I've never seen anything like it. He was mutilated.
Oh.
Oh, speaking of deliveries, there's a package here for you. I meant to bring it in before, but I forgot. Sorry.
It's all right.
What is it?
A dead rat.
Reception said you wanted to see me urgently. Anne, what is it?
It isn't over.
What?
They've arrested the wrong man.
Neville Sloane admitted... Oh, you must get Inspector Russ.
He's on his way.
Die like this rat. They didn't send you a... Oh, my God.
He's still out there, Meg.
Who is it?
Rutledge, Rowson.
Don't make a bloke feel very welcome, Mrs. Reynolds.
Please. I don't know why you're doing this, but don't hurt Meg. She's no part of this.
Bull. She's another bloody screw. She might come in handy later. Okay, ladies. We're going on a little trip. You could scream your head off in this place. No one would ever hear you. Just don't want you to be too comfortable. That's all.
You're mad if you think you can get away with this.
No, screw. Phyllis is mad. That's what this is all about. You did it to her. Okay. Your turn, sweetheart. Come on. Open up. Come on. Good girl. Right, ladies. I'm going to leave you now. In case you get to thinking about wandering around when I'm gone. The whole place is packed with plastic explosive. Enough to blow away half the block. If anything sets it off. Hardly worth taking these off, was it, eh? Hardly ate anything either of you. Hurry up in there. I don't want you wandering around in here after I've gone, would we? What's the matter with you? Stupid bitch, I don't want you dead yet. You're gonna pay, bitches!
Help us, please! Please! Don't go near the stairs. There's a bomb!
I'll just get my breath. Oh.
Please hurry, Meg. I can't hang on much longer.
Take my hand.
Get hold of something. If I can get my foot up the step behind me.
Your foot is over the wire.
That bastard.
If I pull hard, then you unhook the foot, put it on the banister. Have to.
Please. No. Wait. Please wait.
Blind funny buggers.
Get those two ambulance, quick! Just stay here.
Have you found her?
Well, we still search.
Now,
Come on. We'll find her.
She's inside. And the box.
You weren't in there.
No. I was coming down on the road. I couldn't wake her. Oh my God, Dave. It's all my fault.
No, come on, calm down.
She did it. It's all my fault.
We'll find her.
Nurse will be round soon with something to help you sleep.
Just relax. It's all over now and she's going to be all right.
No, don't go yet. Don't leave me alone, please.
I'll see you again in the morning, Mrs. Reynolds.
I'm sorry if you have to go.
No. Plenty of time.
It's just,
I just need to talk.
Yeah, no, yeah, I understand.
You didn't finish telling me what happened. You said something about Lo's mother being involved.
Yes, we kept her in custody after young Cleary was shot, just on the off chance we could bargain with Lo.
Philip was hurt. Oh, no. No.
I'm sorry. He died instantly.